Hi guys, welcome back to Firestorm Games, and in this video we're looking at another Shadespire expansion. This time we're looking at the Orc warband known as the Ironskulls boys, and in this set we get 4 fighters, 4 fighter cards, 29 Ironskull boys and 31 universal upgrade, ploy and objective cards. And I'll be looking at everything in this video. So let's start off by taking a look at the cards. So here we have the fighter cards for the Orc forces, and we get 4 cards altogether for each of the fighters. First of all, we have a Gurzag Ironskull, we have a Basher, Bone Cutter, and also Hacker there as well. Now these guys are very much played to be kind of a mixture between defensive and offensive. So whilst the Khorne Bloodbound were very much geared up for offense and the Stormcast Eternals are very defensive in the way they're played, these are kind of a slightly more balanced approach between the two. So they have typically high stat values. Each of these has a minimum of 4, with the leader having a wound value of 5. Now the actual damage that they do is fairly mediocre. Gurzag Ironskull himself does a 2 dice, 3 damage attack, whereas the other fighters have a range between 1 and 2. So until these guys actually get inspired, and if I just flip these cards over to see their inspired status, you're not going to be doing that much damage. So first of all, you want to play these guys a little bit more defensively. Use their slightly higher numbers to lock down some objectives on the board as well. And once you do become inspired, which you get to become inspired by taking damage, again, a quite defensive move, you actually start doing a lot more damage back to your opponents. I think some of these also increase their speed value as well. No, my mistake, just their attack. So we have a special ability as well, I think, for one of these guys. Yeah, so here we go. So we've got some special abilities for these guys when either they're inspired or regular. So choppers, if you roll at least 1 critical, this attack action has cleave, very useful against the Stormcast forces. We have smashers, on a critical hit, this attack action has a knockback of 1, and that's pretty much it for the special rolls. Gurzag Inspired has, you can reroll 1 dice when this fighter makes its attack action. So it's actually quite a useful little warband there. So you can start off quite defensively, and then once you become inspired, you can actually start going on the offensive and doing some serious damage with your units. So that's the fighter cards looked at. Let's look at some of the objective, ploy and upgrade cards. So here we have all 60 cards that we get in this set. Now all of these are unique to the Oryx warband. You cannot find these cards in any other set. So some of these universal ones that you can see at the top here, you can actually mix and match between your other warbands. So there is some incentive there to buy the set for some of the cards featured in here. At the bottom here we have all of the cards which are specific to the Oryx themselves and cannot be used with any other warband. So we've got specific objectives, ploys, and also upgrades as well. Now I'm not going to go through all of these because there's an awful lot, and this video will be extremely long if I did, but I'm going to be picking out a couple of the ones that I find quite interesting. So especially the actual Oryx specific one. So we've got a very interesting upgrade here for Gurzag, which is unkillable. Basically, if he suffers a attack which would take him out of action, roll a dice, and on a critical or a shield value, he stays in action. So a very kind of resilient band. And a lot of these upgrades do kind of build up the resilience of the Oryx and also kind of slightly modify their offensive ability as well, which they are slightly lacking at as well. Same kind of thing goes for the ploys. A lot of these actually give you reactions or additional actions, which is quite good as well. And then the objectives are actually really nicely named as well. You can see them, all of these are very much geared around the Oryx themselves. Also really like the artwork on these cards. All of these particular cards here have got some unique artwork, and all these Oryx themed ones you'll notice have got Oryx themed artwork on them as well. So you can see just at a quick glance that they are an Oryx specific card. So that's all of the cards quickly looked at. Let's actually move on to the miniatures themselves. Now the Oryx come over 2 sprues, and as you can see they're coloured in green plastic. This is really great because it means you don't have to worry about painting your miniatures to easily identify them on the battlefield. If you're not really into painting your miniatures, you can just quickly assemble them using the quick fit feature of these miniatures. Basically means you don't need any glue whatsoever, so they're perfect for beginners. And also I assembled these in around about 20 minutes, so really you can open this box up, get the miniatures assembled and be playing within the hour really easily. Now the miniatures themselves are all very characterful, they're really well sculpted and look fantastic. They're also really easily recognisable as well from their player cards. They each have different variations of weapons, and you can easily tell which particular miniature is related to which card. Now this warband has been based around some of the existing Ardboy miniatures and actually would fit really nicely alongside them in a regular Age of Sigmar force. In fact, I think there's actually some rules for using these guys in Age of Sigmar available on the Games Workshop website. So I'm going to continue assembling these miniatures and we can take a look at the 4 finished Aurochs. And here we have the fully assembled miniatures, and that concludes our look at the Shadespire expansion. So in summary, the Ironskulls boys really are the warband for anyone who's looking to have a tough fighting force which can actually deal some damage themselves as well. They sit nicely between the Khorne Bloodbound and the Stormcast Eternals that we found in the starter set. So if you're looking somewhere a middle ground between those, these guys are perfect. Now if you want to pick up a set for these yourself, the RRP is £17.50, however they are available on the Firestorm Games web store for £15.75, and I'll include a link in the description below which will take you directly to their page. Now in my opinion, that price point is extremely reasonable, especially for Games Workshop miniatures. Considering you get 4 miniatures and 60 cards, it really is great value for money, considering a single individual character miniature can often cost around about the same price. With these reasonably priced miniatures and quick to learn rule set and very quick to play game, Shadespire really is a great game for anyone who's maybe not got the time to collect a full army and play 4 games of Age of Sigmar, but wants to play games in that universe. So I would highly recommend anyone who's into skirmish game collecting Shadespire. So if you enjoyed this video, please do let us know in the comments below, and also make sure you subscribe to be kept up to date with all of our future build and painting tutorials. And with that, we just want to say a huge thank you, and we hope to see you again on Firestorm Games.